The next technique we want to work on is what we call the weave, all right? The weave has been designed to allow our defensive back to maintain a horizontal relationship on the receiver. So we always have a vertical relationship. This is our horizontal relationship. It could be either inside or outside, but with the receiver generally trained to take away our leverage, we're going to teach to maintain that leverage. So we're going to start with a weave. Starts very simple. We're going to start in the back pedal, all right? And then I'm going to move Dan to a side, all right? Main coaching points with the weave, all right, is that the hips and shoulders maintain a square relationship to the target. So we want to keep those hips and shoulders square as we work in our back pedal, just like a back pedal. Work it one more time, Dan. What you see is basically his foot is pushing off in a direction, but we're still reaching back. All right, so we're working in a direction, but we are reaching and pushing off that far foot. Again, like the back pedal, everything maintains a tight relationship, stays within the framework or the core of the body. All right, relaxed upper arms, but tight to the body. Probably the most important transition we have to teach defensive backs as they work out of their pedal is to open downfield, all right, to cover the deep ball. So we're going to drill this open technique every day, and that's exactly what we call it, opening, all right? Dan is going to start in the back pedal. We're going to give him a visual command to open up and turn and run straight down the line. And then we're going to throttle him down, again, always having a finish to the drill. Now, bringing Dan back. The thing that I'm going to teach these guys right from the get-go, day one, all right, is you always want to point a foot in the direction that you're heading, all right? And that's not an easy thing to do right now because Dan has one foot pointed straight at the camera. Dan, let's try to get a foot pointed directly where you want to go. Okay, that's a pretty hard movement to make right there. As a 42-year-old guy, I have trouble. I can only get 3/4 of the way there, all right? What we need to emphasize with this drill is two things. There's two coaching points that we really stress. One is to hop that far foot up so we can get that. We'll buy some time in the air for us to make that transition. The second thing we focus on is violently punching our elbow out and down to, again, accentuate the explosion and the burst. Every transition that we make, we want to have a burst to it. So we're coming out of the back pedal and bursting. So we'll go one more time. Again, we throttle him down. Again, you'll see on the video that Dan's foot hopped up, all right, and he was able to make that transition in one step, and that's the key, transitioning in one step. This is it from the side view. Again, you'll see Dan hop that foot up and explode. Again, this is a transition that we need to do every day. The next transition we teach is the drive, or the movement forward. Again, drive is the term that we use. So we're going to get Dan in a back pedal and give him a visual command to move forward. Okay, the command that I use, or the coaching points that I use on the drive, is to stick it. The key thing is to get a foot quickly stuck in the ground. All right, so we want to stick a foot in the ground. All right, coaching point, again, all the time is we want to get our feet and maintain everything within the core of our body. The foot may come out slightly within the core on the first step, but as we sink our hips and drop our butt, all right, it's going to finish within the core. And that's, if it doesn't, that's typically when you're seeing defensive backs slide out. All right, so we'll do this one more time. The other thing you'd notice, all right, when Dan made his transition forward, again, he got the foot stuck in the ground, he's rolling off that front foot. I'm not going to overcoach feet as long as they maintain themselves within the core of the body. But what I want to do is give them something to a coaching point that will get them going in the right direction. And this is where I want violent arm action. All right, so what we should see in this drill is Dan pumping those arms as fast as he can, tight to the body again, but you'll see an acceleration of his arm and see more violent arm action when we're doing this. The view from the side should look like this. Again, there's the efficiency to the stance. Again, we're working out of the stance. His knees are bent, his butt's down on the transition. All right, we got to get that foot stuck in the ground, drive off that front foot, all right, and accelerate those arms. So again, without overcoaching feet, keep them underneath the core, all right, and get those arms violently pumping.